Hello, good evening. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Carolyn. I am a DIY crafter. I do a variety of different crafts from hand painting, custom wreath, sublimation, rhinestones, party favors, you name it, I do it. So thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe, and welcome to my page. So I am on here to show how to assemble the Pringle Dome Shakers. So I am using today the 2.3 ounce shaker from the Pringles. And so this is my label. And so this measure out at 9.5 in width and 4.5 in height. Now, if you are using the small cans, you want to go 3.15 in height and 9.3 in width. So I have my strips. This is the large strip. It goes at the top. I measured this at 0.495 in height, 10.5 in width. This is the small strip that goes at the bottom, 0.3 in height, and I think 9.4 in width. Okay, this is my circle. So this is a 3.5 across, 3.5 down, because I'm using the 2.3 can. And if you are using the smaller can, it is a measurement of 3.18 across, 3.18 in height. So let's get started. So what I like to do, make sure you don't tear this, because you are dealing with food products. You want to be careful. I advise to use gloves anyways when you are dealing with food products. So the label. This label is very, 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 very sticky. So you got to be careful how you put it on. This is the paper that I use. Very glossy. And so now I'm about to show you how to put the sticker paper on. Okay, so I like to take my sticker paper off just a little bit from the back. Just a little bit. And I use the label as a guide. So let me stand up and do this, because this paper gives a hard time sometimes if you don't do this correctly. So you want to put, I use this silver at the bottom as a guide, because you want to make sure when you put the paper on, it's not crooked. Okay, so I see it's okay. And then once I get it on, I like to take the paper off this way, but I don't roll it, because I like to pull it tight. 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 Okay. You might see a little bit of red at the bottom. That's okay, unless you want to measure it down a little bit, because when you put your strips on at the bottom, that's going to get covered up. Okay. All right. So now we have our label also on. You would just do it the same way, pull it halfway, and then put your label on. But I want to show you how I assemble the dome onto the lid. Some people assemble their dome. Let me make sure it's turned this way because I want to make sure that she is facing the can. So I pull my tab back and I put this on. Some people assemble their dome on this way. I don't do it that way, and I'm going to show you why. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just doing it the way I'm doing it is easy for me to do. Okay? So I like to do my stuff, like prep everything before I start, cut my strips out, get my little pieces that I have, and I'm gonna show you what I use. This is all my shaker pieces from the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Okay. So I get my shaker pieces, put it in the middle. Turn my glue gun on. While I'm waiting on my glue gun to warm up, see a little water on my dome. You want to make sure you don't crack the dome, but you want to cut off this extra piece in the back. I'm kind of heavy-handed, so I got to be careful. Okay. If you got a little shaver or something, you can shave that part down. All right. Okay. So I'm making sure my glue gun is nice and hot. I'm waiting for it to heat up. Let me test it. Okay, it's not quite ready yet. All right. All right, get my backup glue gun because this other one been acting weird. Right? So we're going to see. Okay. Show you how I do my strips. Oh, I use this glue for basic crafts. I use this glue here when I'm doing things that require clear glue projects. I have different tons of glue. Okay, let's see if this is ready. Okay, it is. Okay. All right. So I like to put my glue around this edge, but I'll be real gentle and careful because we're going to use this again. So I'll go around the edge. Be careful because this stuff is hot. And that tab in the back, that's my guide point where to stop. Okay. So you want to be very fast with this because you know it's glue is hot. And you want to take your glue, take your dome, look for the tab in the back. And just set it on. Give it a few seconds. Press your dome down. I'm giving it a few seconds because you want to make sure that it's secured on the lid. Either get some alcohol or have a cold rag or something to get those strings off, okay? Okay. Now let me show you something. That's just water. Now you see, we still got some gaps. So we're going to take the glue gun again. Very gently, small amount, seal in those gaps. Wherever you see a gap at, that's where you seal it. Okay. So I see my little string. Clean up the string off my dome. Okay. Now you want to make sure all the gaps is sealed. See, I got a little gap here. So I'm just going where I see gaps. Okay. So that's nice and sealed. Okay. Now we're about to do the top strip. Show you how I put the strip on this dome. I start with the back. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. And you want to go over the glue that you just went over. So you're covering up that area where you had those gaps. I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to go inside, small amounts at a time, and I go around, press and hold. And I try not to put a lot. Press and hold. Now, if it's your preference, if you want to use glue. I prefer to use glue for the professionalism. I don't trust that double-sided paper sometimes. I mean, it's good, but when you're doing a project something like this, you just want to use something that's, you know, that's going to be a good standard. And all you doing, pressing, but you don't want to put too much. You're just covering up the glue that you just went over. That's why you want to put a very small amount of glue when you're going around that edge. Okay. And you just want to hold it for a few seconds before it can bond. All right. All right. And I'm just taking the last little bit of glue and spreading it. And I'm holding it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go through later and I'm gonna get some alcohol. And see, here's your shaker. See, it's in place. Okay. Now I'm about to do the bottom. Here's your shaker. All right. Now, I don't use the hot gun for the bottom. That's just me. I like to use the glue for the bottom. And I'm trying to find my seam because that's where I want to start from. I think this is my seam. Okay. Like I said, I do a little bit, but I go heavy. I mean, so I do the same method. I use the seam as my guide. I hold it because this glue, this glue kind of tacky for some reason, but it dries fast. So I'm gonna just go around. With this glue, and I'm going around the edges, and I'm just holding it. This is that clear glue. Okay. And I'm going around again with the glue. Okay, and I'm going a little faster with this glue because this glue dries super fast. Now you see how that red that we were so worried about, it got covered up. All right. You just want to hold it. Holding it for a few seconds. You want to make sure you got some clean hands, clean, dry hands. Then I think I'm on my last piece. All right. Okay. And you want to hold it. Now you see how the seam is a guide. You want to be careful not to buckle your paper. All right. Okay. So you see, all nice and dry. Here's a shaker. Put it on. Let's see. I want to test it. And there you go. Shaker pieces is not coming out. Okay. Right. So you want to test it. Make sure you don't tear the paper. Gotta make sure it come off. Okay. See, make sure you don't rip the paper. There you go. And there's your shaker. Okay. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, or you know, if you have any other questions about any other crafting ideas or things, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. I have some other videos and tutorials. But again, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you and have a good night.